You're listening to the Live with Audacity podcast. Hey girl, hey! I'm Melissa Stewart, mama to 4 kiddos ranging the age from college student to first grader, wife to a high school football and track coach, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Audacity is defined as intrepid boldness or disregard for normal constraints, and that's exactly what we have here. As a super busy mom who is easily distracted, I struggled to get focused on my goals and see results in my life and business. But I realized to make any progress, I needed to implement simple, efficient systems that worked for us without adding to the overwhelm and making me feel boxed in by rigid schedules. And I want to help you do that too. This podcast is aimed at giving you tangible tips and tools to get your life together, finally focus on the calling on your heart, and do it all in the way that works for you. So come on, boo-boo, it is time to get focused, get intentional, and live with audacity. Hey friends, welcome back to another bonus episode of the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm so excited about today. Today is the day. It's the soft relaunch of the podcast, and I am so excited about it, if you can't tell. In today's episode, I'm going to tell you about this small shift happening here on the podcast, how it's going to help me serve you better, and how things will look moving forward. Oh my gosh, I have been doing this podcast for a little over a year. And thanks to COVID, I kind of had some lulls here and there. I gotta be honest, going through all of that, and I feel like it's about to happen again, and it kind of freaks me out. But I finally feel so focused and so driven and so excited to put together content and help you and just help you with all the things. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. I know it sounds like I'm a little bit all over the place, but I really want you to know that this shift is only to be able to help you in the best way that I can. We all have our unique gifts and talents, and you know I believe that if you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time. But I am just so excited to serve the heck out of you, okay? So, but first, this Thursday is Thanksgiving. And honestly, Thanksgiving is truly my favorite day of the entire year. I love cooking. I love being with my family. I love eating. I'm a total foodie. And it doesn't have any of the pressure that comes along with Christmas and making sure you got the right gift, or everything's wrapped, or everything's done, or do the kids look cute in their outfits for Christmas Eve, and did we get Christmas pajamas, and all the things, right, that come along with Christmas. It's just a day of family and relaxing and football and, you know, wine or beer sometimes, if we're being honest. So yeah, Thanksgiving is my absolute favorite day of the year ever. Christmas comes in number 2. And then my third favorite day of the year is Black Friday. Oh my gosh, I love Black Friday so much. There were several years that me and my family would get up and go out, you know, in the middle of the night or, you know, early morning, and we had so much fun doing that and shopping for the deals that we had planned ahead to get. But then stores started having Black Friday start on Thursday, and that just took all of the magic out of it for us. And so we don't really leave anymore to do Black Friday shopping. Instead, we do a lot of online stuff, and we never, ever, ever, we did it one time, let Black Friday get in the way of our Thanksgiving and cutting our Thanksgiving short, and we vowed after that day to never, ever, ever let it happen again. So here's a quick tip. Always stick to your values. If Thanksgiving is your day, see it through all the way to the end. And don't give it up for spending money. That's ridiculous. But anywho, I have a really exciting Black Friday planned for all of my listeners and members of my Facebook group. Because you're listening to the podcast right now and you are along for the ride with me on the slight pivot and the soft relaunch of the podcast, I wanted to let you in on the Black Friday goodness going down in the Live with Audacity Facebook group later this week. Okay, so we've got 3 insane, amazing giveaways that are coming up. Okay, so we've got 3 giveaways, and the first one I'll be giving away on Black Friday itself, and it is a free Live with Audacity swag coffee mug, and it's going to go to one person who has left a review for the soft relaunch of the podcast. Beginning today, I'll include anyone who leaves a review on the podcast today through Friday at midnight. I'll announce it on Saturday, of course. And then on Saturday, of course, I'll announce the Small Business Saturday giveaway, but I'm going to tell you right now, just because you are here with me on this journey. So on Saturday, I'm going to be giving a free Rocketbook to one person who shares their favorite podcast episode on social media and tags me. You can either do it in your stories or as a post. As long as you tag me and I can see it, I'll put you in the drawing. And then on Saturday, I will draw the person who gets the free Rocketbook. Now, if you've never heard of what a Rocketbook is, OMG, they are so cool. I'll be giving away the Rocketbook Fusion with a friction pen and a wipe. And so what the Rocketbook is it's a journal, it's a planner, it's all the things wrapped up into one, but it's so amazing because it's reusable. You can write on it, then you can scan it and upload it to your Google Drive or wherever you store documents, and then you can erase it and you have it for life. It's so amazing, and I love my Rocketbook so much that I had to give you guys one. And if you don't win the giveaway, of course you can purchase one, and I'll put the link in the show notes. But seriously, these are so amazing. So you definitely want to get in on this giveaway. It's so incredible. So I'll be drawing for that on Saturday. And then lastly, on Cyber Monday, I'm going to give away, are you ready? Drum roll, please. 1 free coaching call for an hour with me to the person who adds the most people to the Live with Audacity group in 24 hours. It's going to be so amazing. So amazing. I'm so excited about it. So seriously, if you add the most people to the group between today, right now, and Monday, I will give you 1 free coaching call with me. Okay? So those are the giveaways for Black Friday week. You are getting to know about them right now simply because you are with me on this journey to soft launch the pivot of the podcast. Okay, so let's move on real quick. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you decide that you want to work with me for 6 weeks in my one-on-one coaching program, right now it is $497 through the end of the year. I'll be raising prices on January 1st. We can work on either implementing some systems and strategies so that you can get focused on your business, or we can also work on discovering what your passion and your purpose is and weaving that all together so that you can step into your greatest purpose and serve your greatest potential, right? We have so much to give and we have so much to offer, and we have unique gifts and talents that were placed inside of us to serve the world. And if you don't know what that is yet, let me help you. If you sign up for my 6-week one-on-one coaching package, you get all 3 giveaways. That is right. I will include an additional free coaching call for you for 1 hour. I will give you a free Rocketbook so you can take notes during all of our calls. and upload them and keep them forever. And then I will also give you a free Live with Audacity swag coffee mug so that when we meet, you can be drinking your hot coffee out of your cute mug. Okay? So I promise we're moving on. So that's all the giveaways for Black Friday week, and I am so excited about it. I can't wait to give you guys all the goodness. Okay. Now that is all out of the way, I know I just totally talked your ear off. I'm going to tell you about how in the world this pivot came about. Okay, so for the last forever and ever, you know that my greatest passion and purpose is to get women to understand that they have unique gifts and talents to serve the world. But I still felt like my message was kind of falling on deaf ears, and I didn't really know how to get it out to more people. Obviously, this podcast, but for some reason, there was something missing there, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. So I jumped on a clarity call with an insane, amazing coach, and I love her so much. I'm so grateful to her. And she, in like 5 minutes, totally pulled out exactly what the missing piece was, right? And so because I was still feeling like things weren't totally, completely aligned, I opened my heart to her and I let her in so that she could really help me. And she's helping me to stop wasting time and finally make some progress that I've been really desiring for so long. So, so what she did was she helped me weave in all of the intricacies of myself into this business. So, what does that mean? I am going to be showing you systems for your home, life, and business for the hot mess mama. Okay? But where does the purpose part come in? Where does the authenticity piece come in? Where does the alignment piece come in? Well, if I'm helping you get together all of your systems and your processes and your automations and just your life systems and your home systems and all of those things so that you can focus on your business or your calling or your charity or whatever it is that's sitting on your heart to serve the world, you're going to free up that time and you're going to free up that brain space to actually be able to work on this thing that just keeps pulling and calling at you, okay? So the other piece is that if I can help you put together these systems or I develop a system for you that doesn't work for you because of whatever reason, maybe it's just not totally aligned with you, then you're not going to do it. And you're not going to sustain it, and then it's not going to work. And so then you're just going to come back to me and be like, Melissa, cool podcast, but this system that you gave us for morning routines, which, by the way, I will never give you a blanket routine, okay? I'll tell you what works for me and kind of how I came to those places. But at the end of the day, it's trial and error, and you have to figure out what works for you. So with that being said, definitely come join us in the group. We'll talk about all of it. We'll weave it in, and I'll be there to help you figure out exactly what's working for you, what doesn't work for you, and why. Okay? So who is this podcast for? This podcast is for you if you have trouble making decisions, you get stage fright of making decisions, you maybe overthink your decisions and never actually pick anything. Maybe you feel like you're a total hot mess, and by the way, you're in the right place because I'm your boo, I'm your girl. Maybe you feel like a total hot mess and you're like, girl, I've tried everything. Nothing works for me. I promise I can help you. Okay. Because as an Enneagram 7, I'm a little flighty. I'm a little uncommitted. I am a little distracted. I am really enthusiastic. I love to try out new things, and they fall by the wayside pretty quickly. So if that sounds like you at all, this podcast is for you. You may have some form of ADD. I'm not saying that you do or that you've been diagnosed, but you may feel like you can't really get focused on any one thing at any one time. You are not perfect. You know you're not perfect, but you might feel a little bit inadequate as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a person running a household. You're not perfect, so that can make you feel inadequate. And when you look around at other people who have it together, their house is decluttered, they're always done up and have their hair and makeup done, and you look at yourself and you're like, man, what is wrong with me? I'm your girl. Like, we're going to be best friends, I promise. I'm totally your boo, and I'm going to help you stop feeling inadequate and embrace who you really are, and maybe also step up your game a little bit too. Okay, so maybe you've tried several different businesses, but you haven't been wildly successful at any one thing because, again, you either don't commit or maybe you weren't totally aligned with the businesses that you've tried. Okay, so maybe another thing is that you may be a little organized, but you could still use quite a bit more help. Maybe you need help delegating to others. A lot of times I see moms, they get in this stage or this place where they want to be everything to everyone because we want to be super moms, right? Like, society has totally built us up that we need to do all the things and be everything to everyone, and that's how we earn our worthiness. That's how we earn our praise as moms, right? You know that news stories all the time are bringing out the super mom and the mom that did it all by herself and all these things. But boo-boo, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can delegate. You can ask for help. You can let your kids do the dishes, right? Okay, like, they are not going to die. In fact, your job as a mom is to raise your children to be able to be on their own. If you have a 14-year-old child who doesn't have any chores, doesn't know how to do laundry, doesn't know how to put things away, doesn't know how to clean up after themselves, you are doing them a disservice, and shame on you for that. You need to learn to delegate to them. You need to learn to give them responsibilities, because otherwise you're doing them a disservice as you grow them into adulthood. They cannot make it on their own if they cannot take care of themselves. Your job as a mom is to get them ready for adulthood. That is your job. Okay, so stop trying to be everything to everyone. Okay, so maybe you have some ideas of about what you want to do, but you just haven't taken action or made a decision because you want to know the whole staircase so you don't get too far off track. Does that sound like you? Or maybe you need clarity on your own path and what you're meant to be doing and how you're meant to serve. Because we can get really stuck and really confused. But I promise this podcast is going to help you with that. I promise. Okay, so the other thing that may sound like you is that you love rules, but maybe you become defiant to authority or rules if they don't make any sense to you, or if authority is not respectful or respectable. Okay. You may take things as they come, and maybe you feel like you're always putting out fire. So you're really reactive rather than proactive. Does any of this resonate? Does any of this sound like you at all? If it does, girl, you are in the right place. With the Live with Audacity podcast, I'm going to help you overcome these things so that you can be the best you and be productive and live into your greatest potential. Okay? So, who is this podcast not for? Let's cover that. This podcast probably isn't going to be for you if you are super organized and have your life together. Girl, this ain't the place. Okay. I'm not the one for you if that's how your life is. Much respect, and I probably want to have you on the podcast so you can help the rest of us. But if your house is always spick and span, it's not for you. If you don't forget appointments or things that need to happen, this ain't for you. If you never run late to anything because you're trying to catch up on other things, or you don't put too many things on your schedule and then always feel like you're behind, this podcast is not for you. If you are always showing up with clean, pressed clothes and hair perfectly coiffed and makeup perfectly done, this podcast is probably not for you. If you are the epitome of perfect and everyone wants to be just like you because you have your whole life together, this podcast is probably not for you. If you don't have trouble focusing and being productive ever, this podcast is probably not for you. If you remember everything that's ever happened, where it happened, and who was there and who said it, this podcast is probably not for you. If you've never forgotten to take meat out for dinner to make dinner later, this podcast is probably not for you. If you decorate to the nines for every holiday and you do it in record time and you know where everything is when you put it back and when you get it out, this podcast is probably not for you. Girl, if that's you, if I've described you just now, this podcast is probably not for you, and there's nothing for you here. Seriously. But if you're at all someone who needs a little help in your home, life, or business to start feeling more at ease, more in flow, more organized, more productive, this is the place for you. A few years ago, I had 4 kids at home and I worked full time. I drove 37 miles one way in Houston traffic every single day. And I was the sole person in charge of carting kids to their extracurriculars in the afternoon. We went to band, church, football, all the things. And I spent 14 to 15 hours every single day away from my house. Oh my God, it was miserable. I had to find ways to make our family work during that time because I didn't have time otherwise to do it. I had to find ways to make systems work for us. I had to develop my own systems and schedules. And all of those things have carried over into our life now. And even though my older boys don't need me as much now, these systems will work for us because we have a general idea of who needs to do what and when, and it relieves so much pressure so that I can focus on this podcast and serving you. So, notice I said a lot of systems that will carry over, but not all, right? No one is perfect. No family has it all together. Literally no one. Even if they claim to, I promise they don't. They're lying to you. Don't be friends with them. You can't trust them. But seriously, who would want to be friends with people who make you feel inferior or inadequate all the time? Not me. Okay, so if you need any help at all, even if you mostly have it together, but you just need maybe a little tweak here and there, girl, I got you. I can help you. I promise. I promise I will help you. Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready to live with audacity and get your life together so you can build this amazing business or charity or just serve people in the way that God has called you to? If this is on your heart to get right, Let's do this. Let's live with audacity. Hey, boo boo. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you found value in this episode, do me a solid favor and take a screenshot, post it in your stories, and tag me. I love watching you grow and live up to your greatest potential. Let me cheer you on.